I had torn my ACL and had to have a surgery for that. What did I do during that time? Did I stop going to the gym? No, absolutely not. I did not want to lose the momentum and the progress that I was making. So then what I decided to do was continue to go to the gym, and I did a lot of upper body work. So as you can see, I have a mean upper body, a mean upper back to be more specific. But my lower body has suffered from that. I feel like the muscles on my lower body have not kept up with my upper body naturally because I was doing a lot more upper body work. So the last, I would say 6 to 8 months have been very lower body focused exercises, specifically glutes and hammies, because girls, we all know we love our glutes and hammies, okay? So let's get it. We want to get them nice and right. And so I've just been excited to shift my focus and refocus my energies into these type of workouts. I don't want to be looking like a WWF wrestler here, okay? I do want to have some lower body muscles to me. So yeah, I've been doing a ton of research when I started about 8 months ago as far as what are the most effective glute and hammy exercises. And let me tell you girls, giving you the tea now that it is not in squats, okay? Everybody used to tell me, oh, do squats, squats this, squats that. Do not get me wrong. I love squats and they are great for you. They are great. As a matter of fact, they are a great full body workout, but they are not the best for building those glutes and hammies, okay? And I can attest that that's the case for a lot of people. I am very quad dominated, meaning that whenever I do any kind of leg exercises, my quads want to take over and they want to be the ones that are the muscle that is working the most. So if you are anything like me and you are very quad dominated, the last thing you want to be doing is squats. It is not going to be what gets you the results you're looking for as far as that nice plump tight booty and those nice defined hammies, okay? With all of that said, top 3 tried and true glute and hammy exercises that you should be incorporating into your workout routines. First exercise up are single-legged cable kickbacks. I really like cable work because it really helps to emphasize specific body parts. It can be beginner friendly as well. It allows you to move the weight easily, and it also helps you to start to perfect your form with minimal risk of injury versus free weights. Full disclosure here, I'm actually quite irritated at this point. Usually the gym has these ankle straps that I can use, and so I depend heavily on them to have them ready on hand. And that day I just so happened to find out that someone had took those ankle straps, so I had to improvise and use this weird strap thing that apparently didn't work. The strap like snaps off. So with that said, I want to encourage you, if you are going to be doing cable kickbacks or really anything cable related, these ankle straps are well worth investment. I have some myself. I just didn't think to bring them that day, but here's a picture of mine, and I got them on Amazon. I don't know if I really like mine that much, to be honest with you. They are a little bit stiff for my liking. Maybe it's just a matter of breaking them in, but I do feel like they're a bit stiff, so I'm not going to necessarily recommend mine, but you can go on Amazon and look at the different reviews. I suggest reading the reviews. If you see anyone that complains about the stiffness of them, then definitely look out for that. But typically they can run you anywhere from like 10 for the cheaper ones to like $20. But again, I think they're well worth investment, especially if you plan to incorporate cable kickbacks into your routine. I did also want to mention, I actually tried putting the strap around my foot. And because I have seen people, specifically I have seen girls do this before, and I will tell you that there's a huge difference. I'm actually in a way kind of glad that this happened to me and I can see the difference, because I will say I did not feel it nearly as much in my glute. I didn't feel the glute activation nearly as much when I had the strap wrapped around my foot. And I felt like every time I kicked back, I couldn't get as much of a full range of motion as I would normally like. Honestly, looking back at this video, I feel like my form was just horrible during these exercises. So it just goes to show how important it is to have the right gear. Definitely recommend the ankle bracelets. The ankle bracelets is where it's at if you're going to continue doing glute work and you want to make sure that you're keeping a proper form and that you are activating those glutes. Second exercise up, and another one of my all-time favorites, the hamstring leg curls, and in my case, the single-legged hamstring curls. So again, if I didn't mention already previously, I do a lot of single leg work because of the fact that I have a lot of imbalances after having torn my ACL. Ever since I tore my ACL on my left leg, I find that my left leg has been weakened. It's not as much, thankfully, anymore. I've been able to progress, but when I first started, it was much weaker than the right side. I still have some weakness, and you can even notice some of the atrophy still, where the right side just looks bulkier and more muscular than the left. So I try my best to get the left side to make sure it's keeping up with my right. So any single leg or single arm exercises really are great for trying to help fix some of those imbalances and also bridge the gap between difference in strength on one side versus the other. I want to talk about form a little bit. What I'm trying to show you here is that you want to try to keep the front of your hips as flat to the bench as possible. Try to keep a neutral spine and try to tilt your pelvis in a little bit forward. This is the best form typically for these kind of exercises. Any type of glute exercise, for the most part, at least the ones I'm doing here today, you want to have a forward tilt in your pelvis. In other words, you don't want to have that arch or that gap in between you and the bench. Sometimes it's typically better to go lighter than heavier, especially if you find that your form is being compromised when you try to up the weight. I definitely say that form beats weight, you guys. So form is top priority. You want to make sure that you're perfecting your form first before you start to up the weight. As you can see towards the last part of my reps, I was starting to compromise a little bit my form. My leg was getting tired. So that's what I mean, you guys. If you need to lower the weight a smidge, but just try to make sure that you're maintaining your form. Also, you want to try to make the best use of your rest between sets. I always love to stretch my lower back. That's one of the other reasons why I really love this machine, is because it helps to get a good stretch on my lower back. If you know me well, you know that I do have some lower back pain. So this machine really helps to stretch that out. It just feels so good on my lower back, kind of relieves some of that pain. And also with the knee, when I had my knee surgery for my ACL, I had a really hard time regaining my full range of motion back. And I remember using this machine and just simply sitting there with the weight on the back of my ankle in attempts to try to regain my full range of motion and my full extension. I'm still using the machine for that same reason. So pro tip, if you ever have an ACL injury and you have surgery to regain your range of motion, this is a great machine to help you do that. All right, everyone. Last but definitely not least, the mother of all glute exercises, we have your good old-fashioned hip thrusts. I'll be honest, I actually absolutely hate hip thrusts, but I love hip thrusts in the sense that I know that they're gonna work my glutes in the best way possible. As much as I dislike doing these, let's keep it real, I can tell you that this is where I feel it the most. I can really feel the burn in those glutes every time I do these glute hip thrusts. The idea here, for me anyway, the way I like to do it is starting off with lower weight. I think that kind of helps your muscles fire up, get them warmed up, get them acclimated. And also get yourself positioned right. That way you're feeling good. Get yourself to a place where you know you've got the best form possible. So I think starting light is important to make sure that you're perfecting your form. Then as you get more and more used to the motion and you're feeling good and your muscles are firing up, you can start to add the weight. So that is the method that I like to use. As with all the other exercises, again, we want to make sure that we are tilting our pelvis forward some. We want to make sure that we are activating our core, meaning we are tightening our abs and we're tilting our pelvis forward so that we have a nice straight spine. We don't want to let the weight just fall down on us. We don't want our back to be arching. The last thing you want to do is to have your back arch in this exercise. Trust me, I know I have lower back pain and I can tell when my form is not its best because my back will start to bother me if I don't keep a good and proper form. Very important with this particular exercise, especially if you're gonna start lifting heavy, as I finally have, which I'm very excited about. I'm super excited to finally be lifting somewhat heavy and working my way up. But again, like I said earlier, make sure that your form is on point. Form is always going to take precedence over weight. There you have it, 3 of the most effective exercises to get those glutes and hammies looking right. You've got the single-legged cable kickbacks, the hamstring leg curls, single-legged, and of course the infamous hip thrusts. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that these exercises come in handy and helpful to you. I will probably be doing a booty and hammies gym day for beginners video as well. So comment down below if you want to see that. Make sure to subscribe and like and comment, and I will catch you all on the next one. Love you all. Bye.